Can't wait for this. Don't forget, this Saturday, talkSPORT brings you exclusive radio commentary of Joe Joyce's heavyweight bout with Joseph Parker for the WBO interim title. It's live from the Manchester Arena. Let's stay with this now and speak to talkSPORT's Fight Night presenter, the wonderful and very dangerous Gareth A. Davies joins us. G-Dog, hello, how are you?
I'm very well, Andy. Good evening, Darren.
Hello, Andy, Gareth. I didn't say Andy.
Wow.
How are you doing, Gareth? You okay?
It's fine by me, brother.
Everything on paper, well, I was going to say everything points to a Joe Joyce victory, but does it? Because we were talking to Darren Barker yesterday, and I questioned Joe Joyce's, 37, Parker's early 30s, and Joseph Parker's had twice as many fights. How much of a factor will age and experience come into the result of this one?
Oh, it will really come into it. Remember that, obviously, as we heard there in the preamble from Frank Warren and David Hay, these guys are number one and number two with the World Boxing Organization. Joseph Parker's already held that belt, remember. He lost it on points to Anthony Joshua. He's done 12 rounds with Andy Ruiz. He's had massive wars with Dillian White and the fights with Derek Chisora. He's part of the fabric of British heavyweight boxing in lots of ways. Vastly experienced. He knows that Joe Joyce is a slow starter. He's in the camp with Tyson Fury. We had Joseph Parker on Fight Night on Saturday night, gents, and he says he's going to do different things in this fight. And as Adam Catterall, my Fight Night co-host, pointed out there, he does have good feet and fast hands, and I expect him to get ahead in this fight. But the juggernaut is something special. And, he might not have the experience and he might have more years under his belt, but he's certainly primed to rise to the top of the division. I have Joe Joyce as marginal favourite, coming strong in the fight. This is a real sleeper fight. Outside the big four in the heavyweight division, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, and Deontay Wilder. This is the biggest fight out there.
Gareth, when you said there about Joseph Parker, and I thought he looked really good in his last fight against Chisora. He looked certainly more spiteful, but you'd give Joe Joyce the edge. Now, if whoever wins this fight, they do get the opportunity to fight against Usyk. Do you give either one of these gentlemen a chance at beating Usyk?
It's a very good fight, both of them. Obviously, Usyk and Joe Joyce met in the amateurs, by the way. I don't know if you know that. And Usyk ended the victor. Obviously, that was, I think it was 4-2s, that fight, 4 2-minute rounds. Might have been 3-3s. I can't recall now exactly. But the key is in this fight that Joe Joyce starts quickly. And I think for me, I'd love to see him facing Alexander Usyk. Obviously, that's up in the air at the moment because we don't know who Usyk's going to fight next. We don't know if Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury are still going to step into a ring together on December the 3rd. We wait with bated breath. But I think they both match up well with Usyk because they're both very, very fine heavyweights.
Okay, how's it going to be won and lost for either fighter then? Because you mentioned you fancy Joe Joyce to win it, but if Joseph Parker's going to win it, is it going to be early on in the fight or towards the end?
I don't see a stoppage in this fight.
Oh,
Two
wow.
of the best. No, I don't see a stoppage. I think two of the best chins in the heavyweight division. Joseph Parker, as I say, can do 12 rounds almost with anyone. He's probably the more vulnerable around the whiskers. Joe Joyce seems to be able to take massive punches and come back like the Walking Dead, like a zombie. He's a rock'em sock'em robot, and I think he'll come stronger. Late in the fight, they've both got great engines, but I see Joyce pipping this on points, or potentially, Andy, if you want one, by a late stoppage.
Okay. Can we move on? Let's talk about Floyd Mayweather. Before I get your views on where he's going next, he actually spoke to TMZ Sports today and revealed that he'll be fighting an exhibition with KSI's brother, Deji, and spoke about the possibility of a rematch with Conor McGregor.
I got one with the guy, Deji. We will be doing an exhibition in Dubai at the Coca-Cola Arena, and that is in November. It came to my attention. They talked about it being in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, but if I'm not mistaken, Conor still has a few problems with his legs. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in 2023. Then hopefully me and Conor McGregor can lock up in 2023 in a real fight, actually.
The fact that he says, and we can hook up in a real fight, suggests, of course, this one won't be a real fight. It's just going to be an exhibition. I don't have problems with exhibitions. If people want to pay their money to see an exhibition, that's fine. But when he says a real fight with Conor McGregor, I mean, it's going to be anything but. What's your take on Mayweather fighting exhibition fights against YouTubers and then the possibility of McGregor too?
Yeah, it's very, very blurred, isn't it? The lines are so blurred now, Andy, with Floyd Mayweather. He's well retired. He's in his mid-40s. He knows there's money to be made there because Conor McGregor's got a huge following as well. Ditto with KSI's brother Deji, who I don't really. I mean, I saw him at the KSI Swarms fight. Obviously, we were there for talkSPORT, and it was a fascinating evening. Celebrity white collar boxing. But Floyd Mayweather's a law unto himself. I mean, neither of them, both of those fights are exhibition bout. Anything that Floyd goes into now is an exhibition in my view, anyway. And he turns up for a few minutes and earns squillions, doesn't he? I mean, he fought 8 rounds with Logan Paul, if you recall. And every time I speak to Logan Paul, he says, "I'm still pinching myself that I had a fight with Floyd Mayweather, easily the best fighter I've ever best boxer I have seen in my career live, clearly the best, and doesn't want to give it up. There's easy money out there for him, and he's just milking it."
Gareth, has Floyd still got that pulling power? Because you spoke about it there. He's fighting Deji in this exhibition. He's going to fight McGregor, it looks like. Are people still flooding to come and watch Floyd Mayweather? Because you look at his boxing record, he hasn't fought a proper boxer since 2015, and that's when he beat Berto. So has he still got that same kind of following?
That's right. Berto was his 49th fight, and he was looking for something special for his 50th, and it ended up being Conor McGregor. Has he got something special? No, not really, because he looked laboured against Logan Paul earlier in the year, a YouTuber, obviously an athlete. He's a very fine athlete physically. But he's carrying these guys. It's a circus in lots of ways, and he's just cashing in on his own celebrity and fame just to keep the money going. And it's nothing more than that. It's not real boxing.
No.
And we have to be very clear about that. It's blurred the lines. I mean, I spoke to Jake Paul last night, and he's got ambitions to come the other way. He's fighting Anderson Silva on October the 29th. The former UFC middleweight champ, one of the great knockout artists, southpaw, of course, of all time, but he used his feet a lot. He's 47. And Jake Paul's trying to get world ranked as a cruiserweight, or it's a cruiserweight, not light heavyweight, 200 pounds. So, we have got a lot of blurring of the lines at the moment, but the public seems to have an appetite for it. People have followings. And people will do. I think Andy Goldstein and I are getting near, aren't we, Andy? We're getting near having a celebrity fight. I'm at 170. I'm at 175 right now. Yeah. I don't know what you're weighing in at the moment, but maybe we can raise some money for charity.
I'd love to see that.
Let's get it on, baby.
Bring it.
Do you reckon there's a big call for you and me getting into a ring and having a fight, Gareth?
I think people would watch it because they see 2 dolts with their fists having a go at each other and probably having a hug and a kiss afterwards after 6 minutes of boxing.
Would you take those necklaces off and those glasses if we did get in the ring?
I'm ready to take them off now. Yeah, where are you? Name the place, name the time. I'm on the way.
Okay, I'll come back to you, all right? I'm guessing Eddie Hearn's listening to this, so you'll get the phone call before me.
Hope so.
Yeah. Hey, Gareth, always a pleasure. Thank you so
Gareth.
much for coming on. And I'll see you in the Octagon, all right?
I look forward to slapping your face. Cheers.
Thanks for that.
Don't get in the fights. Just stay away from them.
Do you know what? I think I'd probably worry if I got in the ring with Gareth.
There'd be so many people out there, members of the general public who you don't like to go near, that would love to see you.
If there was enough money on the table, I'll pretty much fight anyone.
You wouldn't.
If there's enough money on the table.
You're not fighting AJ.
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
It'd probably win as well.
Ignore that last little bit at the end.
Don't forget this Saturday talkSPORT brings you exclusive radio commentary of Joe Joyce's heavyweight bout with Joseph Parker for the WBO interim title. It's live from the Manchester Arena.